Taylor Swift isn't at every event, but somehow she's at every event. First up, the Golden Globes turned into a surprise Swift soundtrack, and insiders clock Joe Alwyn and Charli XCX sitting through it like it's an emotional escape room. And then sources say Taylor's presence is basically doing laps around the ballroom, even without showing up.
Tell us what song, because I know you love your Taylor. You love the jams.
I never go out of style, is all I'll say.
Next, the Traitors get the Swiftie treatment when Stephen Colletti worries Donna Kelce's name is basically cursed.
I don't want to throw Donna's name out there. It's like the Swifties are going to come for me.
After that, Travis Kelce pivots post-win, donating and rethinking his next chapter. And finally, Taylor's guitarist Paul Sidoti shares a Bob Weir moment, melting hearts. Picture this. You're at the 2026 Golden Globes, dressed to the nines, trying to look mysterious and artsy, and then Taylor Swift's music starts popping up everywhere, like that one friend who just happened to be in the same cafe as their ex. Yup. Swift songs basically turn the whole ceremony into an unofficial mini Taylor concert, and the internet immediately goes into full detective mode, zooming in on faces in the crowd like it's a nature documentary called Ex-Boyfriend in His Natural Habitat. The timing is extra spicy because Joe Alwyn is sitting right there in the audience on Sunday, January 11th, supporting his film Hamnet, which ends up snagging Best Motion Picture Drama. Jessie Buckley also takes home an individual win, so it's a big night for that crew.
This is not a normal feeling or situation to be in.
Except fans can't stop thinking about the background soundtrack doing cartwheels around Alwyn's personal history.
Welcome back to the Golden Globe.
The room heard Swift's The Fate of Ophelia drifting through, and within seconds, people online were basically filing imaginary workplace compensation claims on Joe's behalf. The vibe was polite applause on the outside, chaotic group chat on the inside, because come on, 2 years after the split, the lore still lives rent-free in everyone's brain. And because the universe loves comedy, host Nikki Glaser made her entrance to style, proudly waving her Swiftie flag in the subtlety of a marching band.
Good evening, and welcome to the 82nd Golden Globes.
Later, Shake It Off shows up too, like the DJ is actively choosing violence.
Good evening, and welcome to the 83rd Golden Globes.
Fans joke that Nikki is basically running a sonic obstacle course for anyone with complicated Taylor-adjacent memories.
Tell us what song, because I know you love your Taylor. You love the jams.
I never go out of style, is all I'll say.
Speaking of people getting emotionally jump-scared by a perfectly curated playlist, the real spicy subplot in that Golden Globes room is Charli XCX sitting there while Taylor Swift's presence basically floats around the venue like Wi-Fi you can't turn off. Taylor's songs kept popping up during the night, and while everyone else is sipping champagne and pretending they're totally normal about it, Charli's name is the one fans keep circling in red marker like it's a conspiracy board. The chatter isn't even just awkward moment energy, it's full-on pop culture courtroom energy, because the internet has decided there's lore here and it's showing up to do overtime. The thing is, the whole Charli versus Taylor narrative has been simmering for a minute, and it really started boiling over back in October when Swift's album The Life of a Showgirl landed, and fans started treating Actually Romantic like it was a musical subtweet with a beat. The title alone had people doing the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing meme, because it feels suspiciously close to Charli's Everything is Romantic, and you already know Swifties can smell a parallel from 3 zip codes away. A lot of the speculation swirled around lyrics that fans interpreted as side-eyeing Charli's alleged drug use and her connection to Maddie Healy, because nothing says internet peace like tossing an ex into the blender too. And the funniest part? Nobody's officially feeding the drama. Both artists have stayed pretty tight-lipped about the Feud rumors, which somehow makes people talk about it even more, like silence is a new form of Morse code. Fans think Charli's thrown a little shade here and there since that album era kicked off, nothing that comes with a neon sign saying this is about Taylor, but enough that people online start building PowerPoints at 2 a.m. Meanwhile, Charli is being Charli, glamorous, unbothered, adjacent, and somehow always ending up in the middle of a pop world soap opera without having to say a single direct thing. Meanwhile, while the Swiftie force field energy is still floating around pop culture like perfume you can't wash off, it also shows up in the most unexpected place, a Scottish castle full of reality TV mind games, because The Traitors Season 4 Episode 3 turns into a Don't Poke the Bear lesson starring Donna Kelce. Stephen Colletti, yes, Laguna Beach Stephen, now 39 and still serving I Know Secrets face, learned pretty quickly that competing against Taylor Swift's soon-to-be mother-in-law is like playing dodgeball against someone who has an entire internet army on standby. Donna walked into the game with what Stephen basically described as the strongest armor in the room, and not because she had a hidden shield in her blazer, but because nobody wanted to be the person who said her name and then immediately got digitally suplexed by Swifties with Wi-Fi and free time.
Also had the strongest armor going into the show because as soon as people started throwing her name around, everyone was like, I don't want to throw Donna's name out there. It was like the Swifties are going to come for me. It's like, so everyone was afraid of the Swifties right off the jump.
No one's going to her. The Swifties will
Yes.
That's true. The second Donna's name started getting tossed around, the vibe at the round table got weirdly polite, like everyone suddenly remembered manners. Contestants were acting like they'd just been asked to insult someone's grandma at Thanksgiving. Nobody wanted that smoke. And honestly, relatable, because the Swiftie fanbase doesn't argue, it litigates. Stephen reportedly clocked that fear right away, with people basically deciding let's vote out literally anyone else, including a lamp, before we say Donna Kelce out loud. But here's the plot twist that made the group chat levitate. Despite everyone's hesitation, Donna still got banished in episode 3, and then boom. She reveals she was the show's first ever secret traitor. The room erupted, because nothing hits like the moment you realize the sweetest seeming person in the castle was actually playing chess while everyone else was eating the complimentary scones.
I know I'm the sacrificial lamb. I think I'm gonna go, but you got yourself a traitor!
Sources describe Donna's exit as a mix of mic drop and wholesome mom energy, with her acknowledging the traitor role was tough, but she gave it her best shot, and getting emotional about how joyful the whole experience was for her at this stage of life.
I gave it my best shot. This has been a dream come true. These are happy tears that I get to do this at this point in my life.
And while reality TV was busy handing out plot twists, Travis Kelce was collecting real-life points like he's speedrunning good guy mode because he won the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Charity Challenge on January 7th and basically turned it into a $35,000 donation drop for Operation Breakthrough. This is his third time winning the fan-voted contest, which is honestly the kind of repeat behavior we like to see, like rewatching your comfort show, but with charity money instead of snacks. What's got people extra chatty, though, is where he sent the cash this time. Travis didn't root the winnings through his own 87 and Running Foundation like he did in 2020 and 2024, and instead picked an established Kansas City nonprofit. It is a notable pivot, especially since Taylor Swift recently contributed $250,000 to the same organization, which focuses on safe education spaces for kids in poverty and support for their families. So yeah, it's giving. Power couple, but make it community impact. Behind the scenes, charity watchdog folks have been side-eyeing 87 and Running structure and spending, and one watchdog leader basically suggested this donate to an established charity move made sense in the short term, while the foundation got its paperwork and oversight sorted. Insiders also point to the foundation's long-time support of Operation Breakthrough's Ignition Lab, its teen workforce program, so it's not like Travis just spun a wheel and picked a random cause. Still, federal tax records reviewed by a major outlet raised eyebrows, suggesting the foundation spent about 41 cents of every dollar on charitable activities over 3 years, while also paying hundreds of thousands to A&A Management Group, a company co-founded by Travis's business managers. Aaron Eanes, listed as Travis's business manager and executive director, has said some filings incorrectly categorized expenses and that corrections plus board expansion and tighter oversight were coming. And then there's the football angle, because apparently the off-field headlines are sprinting while the on-field future is doing a slow jog. Travis hasn't decided whether he'll return for a 14th NFL season after the Chiefs closed the year with a 14-12 loss to the Raiders, with his decision potentially taking longer than last year. He allegedly hinted the choice might hit him fast, or require a proper sit-with-it moment.
Honestly, I've been just focused on trying to win football games, man. I'll let that be a decision that I make with my family, friends, the Chiefs organization. when the time comes.
And while Travis is figuring out his next move, the music world is collectively wiping mascara and going not this. Because Taylor Swift's longtime guitarist Paul Sidoti just dropped a surprisingly wholesome story that's got deadheads and Swifties holding hands like it's the end of a Disney movie. He posted a tribute soon after news broke that Bob Weir had died, and instead of making it all dramatic and mysterious, Paul basically served a straight-up kindness is real actually memory from years back. Here's how it reportedly went down. Paul was leaving an arena after a show when a young girl started screaming his name like she'd just spotted her favorite Pokemon in the wild. He did the classic okay, I'll stop move, signed her homemade shirt, posed for a quick photo, and probably thought that was the whole cute fan interaction. Nope. The girl then called over her dad, and the dad turned out to be Bob Weir. Like, imagine thinking you're about to meet someone's regular parent and it's a literal rock legend. Paul apparently couldn't believe what was happening, and the two ended up chatting for around 20 minutes, with Bob being unexpectedly warm and complimentary in a way that caught Paul off guard. And then it gets even more charming. Bob didn't just do a quick hello and vanish into the night like a celebrity ghost. He allegedly gave Paul his phone number and invited Paul and his wife to come visit him in California, with the not-so-subtle promise of exploring the area's fancy wine like two adults who totally know what Notes of Oak means. Life, of course, does what life does, and the visit never happened, but Paul still framed the invitation itself as the kind of generosity you don't forget. Bob Weir's family shared that he died at 78 on Saturday, January 10th, after dealing with underlying lung issues and having previously battled cancer, and that he passed peacefully. Since then, tributes have been rolling in from big names across the industry, and Paul's little story hit fans right in the feelings. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.